Alright. Everything good to go. Welcome to 240K mod. I'm going to showcase the Chaos Forward base for a bit. Alright, so first thing to note is that worshipping is a big portion of the Chaos Forward base. You worship a couple of the buildings can be worshipped, as well as the defensive structures, except for the heavy bolted turret, are shrines, so you worship those to increase the benefit from them. These 3 shrines of Tzeentch, you can only have 3 or 1 of each type. Now, you're not going to know which type it is, but you can only have 1 of each as a player, meaning if I had another forward base and I tried to build this shrine of Tzeentch, it wouldn't work because that shrine of Tzeentch is right. It's this one right here. So that's that. The Shrine of Khorne and the Shrine of Nurgle, as well as an heavy bolter turret, however, can be built in multiple times at different forward bases, but keep in mind it will cost extra, so you are getting a small discount by choosing the Shrines of Tzeentch. Whenever you will node a forward base point, this point will spawn. However, if it gets destroyed, it will not spawn again. It makes this point high priority for assaults whenever you're attacking a forward base. You want to destroy this point. That way they cannot frequently or constantly fortify a position without actual units and whatnot. So, to actual buildings, so we have a couple buildings here, we have 6. No, each forward base point only can handle a certain number of buildings at a time, so in the team game you will have to communicate with your team members to figure out what you want built at this point. So for Chaos, we have a Demon Pit, which is essentially an armory, the Sacrificial Sigil, which is practically a barracks, the War Portal, which is kind of like a second HQ, the Blood Pit, which is like a machine cult, a factory where you can build some vehicles from. Skull Tower, which increases population and is secondly a defensive structure, and a supply depot that can add resources and spawn generators and whatnot. You can trade resources and spawn generators, but we'll get to it. So I already spawned a Sacrificial Sigil right here. The only way you can actually build units from here, apart from the cultists, is by worshipping it. If I stop worshipping it for a second, I cannot select anything except for these cultists. And I can worship it again. I can select it, and it's the only way you can build stuff. But you can also have to sacrifice a unit to be able to have it spawn. Note that unique to Chaos Forward bases is that they can spawn multiple of different units. Most other races can only spawn one or the other type of unit. So if I wanted to spawn, say, Space Marines at the Space Marines barracks, I have to wait until that squad spawns, then I can spawn something else. That's not the case for Chaos. If I wanted Raptors, let's say I wanted another squad of Raptors and cultists. In fact, since I'm using my podcast, I'll spawn this building. Actually, I'll spawn it right over here. Okay, you need to not. So let's say I wanted heretics and some CSM. I can spawn 2 of them at the same time. so we got that. That's our blood pit, by the way, so it'll also spawn bloodletters as well. As increase your pop cap by 15. We will go over to the demon pit. At this point in time, there's only a few upgrades that you can have. There's only a few upgrades at the demon pit. It's the increased infantry health, increased vehicle health, increase infantry damage, vehicle health, and vehicle damage. You can get 3 of each. Each one is locked behind a tier. So if I wanted, infantry damage, I wouldn't be able to get infantry damage 2 until I got tier 2, and same I couldn't get infantry damage 3 until I got to tier 3. Create a lot of noise. Go figure. Alright, so we got that. We got the demon pit. Here's some upgrades you can get. We got the sacrificial sigil. We'll spawn the warp portal. Oh no, don't destroy it. Okay, so here's our warp portal. What it'll also do is it'll grant us a couple abilities and increase our population cap by 40. The abilities are Corruption and Demonic Summoning directly from the Chaos Sorcerer's Global Bar. Group War is pretty much like the Warp Sparta's Teleport, where I can spawn something instantly over here, so long as I have units nearby that are close enough. Teleport them right there. So that's our warp portal. It'll also slowly spawn red as well. Blood Pit, as the name suggests, or as I mentioned before, all it does is it allows you to build vehicles and a couple of infantry units that aren't available from the sacrificial sigil. Again, you need to worship the building to be able to have them to spawn. Excuse me. So we have the Skull Tower, spawns bloodletters whenever you're worshiping it. Initially, it'll only spawn 1. When you're worshiping it, it'll spawn 2 at a time. And then the last building is the supply depot. We'll go here. There you go. So from the blood pit, you can spawn bloodletters, some plague champions, some chosen marines, which I already have actually out. Some blood crusher, dreadnought, and a predator from this build. Note that if you ever need to change what building you want. Like, let's say I didn't need demon, or let's say I didn't need this, I can self-destruct it. Some buildings can, some buildings you cannot self-destruct. So keep that in mind. The supply depot, you can trade resources for, if you have an abundance of one resource, you can trade it for something else, with the exception of bread. And you can also build generators, but they cost slightly more, and keep in mind they will also not produce the same amount of power as generators spawned from a power node would. Just heads up. So that's the Chaos Forward base. You want to try to worship everything as much as possible. Be able to get the maximum benefit out of something, mainly just the defensive structures.